I am really dumb. A few weeks ago, I managed to acquire myself a 3070, which is a really good value graphics card. And at $500, that card makes perfect sense. So when I got a opportunity to buy a Radeon VII, I really jumped at that opportunity because I've always wanted one. It's pretty cool. It's got 16 gigabytes of HBM2 memory, which is super fast, which gives it that massive 1 terabyte a second memory bandwidth, which is a ton. Like a 2080 Ti has like 600 something-ish. I'm sure there'll be a number next to me. So the guy had this listed for like $850, which I thought, man, that's a terrible idea. That's a terrible deal. And naturally, I lowballed him, and he said no, and I was just very confused. I went on eBay, and they were all going for $800, $700-ish dollars, maybe $900 if it was like in a weird place, but I didn't understand. I still really don't understand. But he said he was looking for a 3070. I had a 3070, so I traded him a 3070 for this. So in essence, if this thing is actually worth what they're going for on eBay, probably a good trade. But this thing is terrible at gaming. On paper, it's a terrible trade. Like, as far as like using one for gaming, and I have yet to find a situation where it's better than the 3070, but screw it, I don't know. I really wanted a Radeon VII. I think it's really cool. So, he said it was new. It's open, so I'm going to press X to doubt, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up anyway. It's a XFX variant, but pretty much all Radeon 7s are the same. They have the same shroud. They look the same. Got a folder of stuff. Ooh. 6-pin, 2 6-pin to single 8-pin adapters. Why? What else we got? Got a warranty card. No driver disk included this product. Please connect to the internet to download your drivers. Okay. And take a moment to make a review. I'm pretty sure this card is old enough to where my review does not matter. But here I am filming, so. Yes. The card. Nothing else in there. I love how this card looks. It's so bold. It's so square. They built it in Minecraft. Is this whole shroud aluminum? It looks like the shroud is aluminum. That's really cool. And it's like machined. Like all the edges, you're really not going to be able to see on camera. So we'll show it in the B-roll. It looks like all of the edges are like machined aluminum. So I'm going to guess that this whole shroud is aluminum, which is really cool. It's very heavy. They put the heavy in it. And then the Radeon lettering right here all lights up in red, and this little cube lights up in red. Very restrictive looking cooler design. I'm sure it's still better than an old blower cooler. Yeah, very heavy. Yeah, overall this is a very beautiful graphics card. It looks really nice. Let's see if it performs really nice. I'm going to go ahead and compare it to this Gigabyte Gaming OC 5700 XT. And from what I hear, they should be relatively the same in gaming. We're going to be using the same Intel test bench that we always use, the 8086K at 5.3 gigahertz and 3800 megahertz, 16 gigabytes of RAM. And see how they compare to my terrible trade deal. So, in Time Spy, the Radeon VII actually got beat by the 5700 XT, which doesn't look good for the Radeon. This was such a bad trade deal. In our 1080p benchmarks, it performed pretty much exactly the same as the 5700 XT. And then in the 1440p benchmarks, and then in the 4K benchmarks. And in the 4K benchmarks, the Radeon just got absolutely slaughtered by the 2080 Ti. But hey, it looks really good. Look at it. It's so pretty. But this, as much as AMD tried to push off, isn't really a gaming card. It's a compute card that kind of failed at being a compute card. It wasn't binned well enough. It is really good for some compute applications. Like, I'm sure it's really good at mining. Probably the best card at mining. I just don't mine or know how to mine. Yeah, I'm sure it's really good at distributed computing, like folding at home, where you get together with a billion people and use your computer to fold proteins to help cure cancer, or the other thing that people are worried about right now. Because, you know, memory bandwidth. If you can feed it an unlimited number of calculations, it can just, you know, pound out calculation after calculation. Another thing to know about this card is it is very loud. Like, when just in like the menu screen of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it is screaming. It doesn't even get that hot. Like, the stock fan curve is just like, fans go burr. And with that fan being so loud, you can't really hear any of the coil whine, which is kind of sad. Because we like coil whine here, or do we? Yeah, you really can't hear any coil whine over the massive fan speed loudness. And I think it has something to do with the pretty restrictive fan shroud. Because, you know, they gave you this whole Radeon thing here, but they could have just used that space to, like, you know, not cover up perfectly good cooling area. What's the wattage on this card? It's 300 watts, isn't it?
It's like 295, about 300.
Oh my god! How did they make 7 nanometers so? Like, why does it draw so many watts? Yeah, 300 watts. You're gonna need a big power supply for this boy. That's why they give you 4 6-pin to 2 8-pins connector adapters. Which still, who would have a power supply that has 4 6-pins but not a single 8-pin? Like, what year is it? Well, there it is. You probably already knew what a Radeon VII was, and I'm just memeing with this video because I've always wanted one. I think it's really cool still. It was a terrible trade. I would not recommend anybody trade a 3070 for a Radeon VII in any circumstance other than to go ahead and sell the Radeon VII for whatever reason it's going for so much on eBay for. It's loud, power hungry, bad at gaming, objectively bad at gaming. It's a good gaming card. Like, you could play games on it, but you could buy 100 other graphics cards that are better for a better price. Yeah, if you want to chastise me in the comments for doing this, and maybe like the video, because liking it makes me feel bad for doing this, and subscribe to see more of me doing bad trade deals in the future. You know, have a great day, guys.